my older brother Trent, he's a lowly, icky chemist. And we are
the Bourbon Brother Whiskey Nerds. Hey, we're in a good mood today, channel, and you know why?
Are.
That's because it's What You Drinking Wednesday here on the channel.
We are broadly in a good mood every day, though, Trent, because we're with our fans and our viewers, and we appreciate you. We're drinking whiskey.
Always
talking whiskey. And the magical wheel of whiskey, also known as the Only Trans app, has spun us James E. Pepper 1776 rye. Does that date sound familiar to you? Because it should. Because it was 250 years ago.
That's very exciting.
Which
is
happy birthday,
America.
Happy birthday, America.
Hey, we've said that on other episodes. Troy and I are, amongst other things, very, very pro-America. The best country God gave man, because we get to do things. Crazy things. Like have a whiskey YouTube channels where we help out you, the viewers.
And we're blessed in that we have jobs where we can afford to do this for people.
It's great fun.
You know what? The history of American whiskey trend starts with rye.
It's really cool.
I mean, it is really cool. Back then, Virginia bordered Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
And Kentucky was Virginia. It didn't exist.
Kentucky
was not a state until 1787.
Well, and this is also interesting historically. And historically, I mean 1776 and just a couple of years ago. Because a couple of years ago, Troy and I had the great privilege of going to the James E. Pepper Distillery.
We were there.
Which still exists in Lexington, Kentucky, about an hour away from Louisville, Kentucky, where, and again, if you draw a circle of a radius an hour, so a diameter of 2 hours, pay attention. That's mathematically correct.
That is.
And around Louisville, Kentucky, you get to an awful freaking lot of distilleries. And some of them are in Lexington, and Troy and I had the great privilege of touring the James E. Pepper Distillery, one of the oldest distilleries in
James
America.
E. Pepper was an interesting character, Trent. He owned horses.
Yep.
This is not surprising.
No, they still own plenty of horses.
And one of the things when we were driving to Lexington from Louisville was just palatial horse estates.
Oh my God.
Horse farms after absolutely gorgeous. If you haven't been, you really need to go. But diving more into the whiskey.
And seriously, if you're into it, make that drive.
Yeah.
Because it really is.
It really is.
Gorgeous.
It's just beautiful. But James E. Pepper was an interesting character. Depending on the history Depending on the history that you read, James E. Pepper is credited with making the old-fashioned.
Right.
At the Waldorf Astoria Hotel in New York City. James E. Pepper unfortunately died very young. He slipped on the ice and had a head injury that's very terrible, but we're going to drink some of his rye. I have not had this drink. This is one of those things, I have enough bottles. This is a first world problem where I forget about them. This is one of them.
Now, I think, Troy, and it might have been you who told me.
Just why you're having trouble getting the cork off, because I haven't cracked it.
I think Troy told me this, that if you buy, there's a group, it's not, obviously, like direct descendants of James E. Pepper, at least I don't think it is, that bought the distillery and didn't change the name, and kudos to them. They're honoring that history. But they have their own distillate, but this is not it. I think the 1776...
I think this is Source.
I think this is a 95.5 MGP rye.
Yep, it's distilled in Indiana.
Yeah,
it's
so that's what it is.
Yep.
And this is their barrel proof offering, coming in at 115.6. If I remember reading 115.2, I was close. The front of this bottle correctly. And this is their rye, so a 95.5 rye. If you buy bottles from James E. Pepper that say James E. Pepper, that's their own distillate. That is
their own distillate, yeah.
And so good on these people.
Same with the Old Pepper moniker.
Old Pepper.
Their own distillate.
Yeah. Old Pepper, James E. Pepper, all of these, I mean, they're bringing back really historically accurate mash bills.
And they have a decanter series
that is really good.
Yeah.
And that's what I think that we heard on the tour, that James E. Pepper is generally credited with being the first to put whiskey in glass bottles, in decanters.
Purportedly to be Old Forester that did that first, but James E. Pepper wasn't far behind.
Right. Yeah. And so it's a really interesting
when you dive into whiskey, And Trent and I are scientists, but when you dive in, there's so much history. And I don't want to speak for Trent, but I don't think he disagrees. We're kind of fascinated by it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's really cool.
Part of being a nerd is that you're sort of a nerd for everything. And so we're obviously scientists for livings. We're not making this up. I really am a chemist. It really is a biologist.
That is true.
None of that is untrue. But we're also nerds for history, and the history of whiskey is just good American history, right?
And a true American spirit.
Well, certainly bourbon, right?
Bourbon,
like by
without
act
a
of
doubt.
Congress,
Yeah.
it's now the American spirit.
1897 Bottled in Bond Act. Although I think it was 1964.
Well, that was when bourbon was recognized as like the official spirit of America, but in any case. All right, we've prattled on long enough. Let's go in for the nose. On some 1776.
This is why I have to pull bottles from the back of the shelf more often.
Boy,
it smells delicious.
It smells pretty good, doesn't it? I'm just going to say I feel very Mike Pence. There's a fly in this room, right? And so if it lands on my head...
Cats do your job. Anyway. Kill the bug.
So if I swat the fly, I'm not doing anything weird. I don't have a tick.
Boy, I'm getting a lot of herbalness.
Well, what I really like underneath there is a really nice sweetness here.
And citrusy note, yes.
It's really nice. Boy, the
lemony, herbally brightness with vanilla.
I was just going to say lemon mint.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's there, folks.
Yep.
We're saying the same thing in different words, which happens a lot on the channel. We might not be awful at this, so like, share, and subscribe. Boy, this smells really good. How much we pay for this, Troy?
Oh gosh, I'm having to go back in the memory coffers. Maybe $60.
Yeah, this smells pretty good for a $60 whiskey. Now it is MGP sourced, 95. If you're drinking a rye whiskey and it's 95.5, the odds are better than not by a factor of maybe 3 to 1, 75-25. That
might even be higher than that.
It's an MGP rye.
No one does 95.5 rye better than MGP.
Oh, they're really good at it.
They're
really good at it. All right. You know what, folks? This smells nice.
I'm going to drink it. Oh, yeah.
Oh, hello there.
You know what? That's just a nice pour of whiskey. Ooh.
Oh. Oh, yeah. I have to think about this now. I'm in my contemplative.
I like the lemony brightness. I love the vanilla notes that come on here. Trent is right about the mint. It's not dilly.
Nope.
It's not particularly peppery rye.
Nope.
It's very sweet.
Yep.
For a 95.5, that's a bit unusual. There is just a whisper of oak coming through on here.
I don't think they're old.
No. That I find really pleasing. Boy, that's a nice.
Boy, there's enough
whiskey.
oak that I have a little astringency on my gums, right? Mm-hmm. Now, one thing, I'm going to say a couple of things. See if Troy disagrees. There are things I really like about this whiskey and things that I wish weren't there. It could be, at least from my point of view, be described as sort of a mint bomb. It is a very minty whiskey. And I think the astringency I'm getting is not oak, but mint. It's almost Altoidsy.
That could
mintly.
be.
And that could back off a little bit.
I don't think I'm picking up that quite as much as Trent. I'm leaning more into that lemony, vanilla-y citrus, like a lemon curd.
Yes.
Coming through here. I like the mint play in here.
I think the mint
If
could be
I
backed
have
off.
a gripe, it might be that it falls a little flat on the finish.
Oh, see? This is really interesting. This never happens. One of my favorite things about this whiskey.
Oh.
I love that minty finish. Because the mint finish reminds me of a rye. And when I drink a rye, I want to know it's rye. I've got a great warming finish mixing with the fruit.
He's not wrong about that. There is a bit of a Kentucky hug coming
Love
through
that.
here.
Love that. And now, I don't know that it's a particularly flavorful finish. Like, it's not dynamic and depthy, and
It's not layered.
has layers, right? Like, this is not a intricate, interesting whiskey. I think it's more of an in-your-face whiskey. And what it is in your face with, at least in my mind, is mint. Now, Troy's right. Those sweet notes on the front of the palate are quite nice. And lemon curd is spot on, folks. I have nothing to say except good job, Troy. The lemon curd is great. But then there's this nice transition. I didn't love the front of the palate, but that transition to the mint of this rye is really nice.
Lemon meringue pie is coming through here.
I liked my second sip more than my first, even. Oh, it's just good. This is good whiskey.
I got just a whisper of dill towards the back end of that palate. And then Trent's right. It's transitioning to, okay, my finish is better on my second sip.
Yeah, see, I really like the finish. My second sip finish is really good.
And that finish is that lemony mintiness.
Yes. Imagine lemon curd is so spot on. So I'm not changing that. Lemon meringue pie, really good. With far too much mint in it. If I have a gripe about this whiskey, I have it again. I've had whiskeys like this before. I don't remember what they are now, which would be really useful for the channel. But that are almost so minty rye, they're astringently
Mouthwash-esque.
Right. Yeah, and that's the joy of mouthwash, right? Mm-hmm. Like, you want that.
Yeah.
I don't really want that in whiskey, right? And if I have a gripe, it's that. Maybe when we fresh cracked,
when you're thinking Heaven Hill grain to glass.
Grain to glass.
Yes.
It was Altoid mintly.
In the hotel room on the way back from Kentucky. Yes, we did. And it was. Yeah.
And then that son of a gun softened into
it tamed down.
Beautiful whiskey. Just go get some.
It's behind me.
It's really freaking good. But on fresh crack, it was out. And that's like, again, I say Altoids assuming you've had one. Altoids are these little mints. You take one, it takes your breath away. It is so minty. They are proud of that on the container of the Altoids mint. But you almost feel this drying sense on your tongue. I think that is due to the minty aspect for me, not oak, because I don't get a lot of oak depth.
No, there's not a lot of oak.
I would love a little bit more depth. I don't think this is an interesting, intricate pour. I think, for me, this would be a mood pour. I'd be like, you know what I want to taste? Some rye.
It's pretty straightforward in its presentation. I think it's well done.
No, it is.
I don't think it's overpriced.
Nope.
You're living at a nice proof point, 115.2.
All accurate. It's a good whiskey.
Not a bad whiskey.
I think it doesn't transition into great because it's not old enough.
Yeah.
It's not mouthfeeling enough.
Just lacks
it's not thin.
The depth and sophistication.
But it's not sophisticated. It's not interesting and intricate, as we like to say. It's not sexy. It is more in your face. This is what I am, like it or not.
Might be,
and I like it.
Yeah, it's good. It might be something where if you're a little bit rye shy, turned off by the spice and the pepper, you might enjoy this.
Yeah, well, I think that it doesn't present peppery. I'm not getting a lot of pepper.
I did not get a lot
Certainly
of rye
not
spice.
Cayenne.
Right?
Nope.
Not a lot of rye spice coming through.
There's a note towards the back end of the front of the palate, which is really specific.
Minutia.
Which is craziness. I'm out of my mind. I'm probably wrong. That I did not care for. It might have been the hint of dill that Troy picked up. Because there is a little bit of a hint of that, and I'm not big on dill. Even Troy might like dillier whiskeys more than me, and that doesn't mean that Troy loves dilly whiskeys. Because I think both of us would be turned off by really dilly ryes.
Interestingly enough, I love dill pickles, but that's neither here nor there.
I'm not big on the pickles. But in any case, I am moving on. Folks, if you haven't had it, maybe you want to pick yourself up some. I think Troy's right. This is not a rye. It is a more nuanced, minty presenting rye. It is not cayenne pepper rye spice. Right?
I just noticed Trent aged over 3 years. So we're not dealing with something exceptionally
well, and again, there's...
we're really not bad at this.
Well, yeah.
Which is why you need to like, share.
So if you
and
set that
subscribe.
ankle high bar, you know what I need somebody not that bad at tasting whiskey. You need to like, share, and subscribe because we're not that bad.
We're really not that bad.
We're not that bad at tasting whiskey. This is, which means it's a 4-year-old whiskey. That's what it means.
Essentially.
Yeah, that's what it means. And
it
that,
drinks accordingly.
It presents.
Yeah.
Right? I could get upset about the graininess, and me saying it's sort of a mint bomb is, in different words, saying grainy. Yep. Right? There's one grain that stands out. There's one note that stands out. But in any case, really not a bad product. I think if you paid $60 for this, it's worth that.
I would agree. I'm not mad about it.
115 proof. I mean, that's
I'm glad I rediscovered it thanks to the Only Drams app.
Hey, you know what? Get yourself an Only Drams app. As we like to say, you need an Only Drams vastly more than you need an OnlyFans. Don't do that. That's
OD bad. Greater than OF.
Only bad comes from OnlyFans. Only good comes from Only Drams. It spins a little wheel. It's fun. Scanning your barcodes. Love the people at Only Drams. And we love What You Drinking Wednesdays. And we're glad you joined us today for this one where we drank a pretty darn good whiskey. 1776 James E. Pepper Rye. Barrel strength 115.2 proof from MGP and the fine folks at Lexington, Kentucky at James E. Pepper, who are doing good things. And I mean that sincerely. I'm not shining them on. I mean that sincerely. We are big believers in resurrecting the history of whiskey. The mash bills, the history, bringing people on that tour, talking about the history, bringing back the decanter series. I hear there's rumor of a decanter series rye that is 100-0. And allow me to be clear.
We'll be there for that.
We are going to freaking own that because, my God, I don't even think that this price ridiculous. Because that bourbon was on some whiskeys of the year list when it came.
Trent said 100-0 rye and my ears perked up.
I know, yes. Troy, yes. You saw the smoke come out. In any case, we've done all the damage we can do today for you folks. Hey, thanks so much for joining us. As always, no matter what you do, whether it's a What You Drinking Wednesday, and we want to know what you're drinking on this Wednesday, put it in the comments. Or you're having a fresh Track Friday. Always drink what you like.
Like what you drink. Bye, everyone.
We'll see you next time.